Okay, so today I'm gonna be interviewing a software developer from South Africa. So I have a couple of questions. Yeah, he went to UCT. So, Zetembi, so why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Aware. My name is Zatembiso, and as Sivu has said, I went to UCT, and I'm a fucking developer. And yeah, so let's get started.
Yeah, so first question, since you've mentioned that you went to UCT and you are now a software developer, do you think going to UCT was necessary for you to become a developer?
I mean, if I'm being honest, I don't think it was necessary for me to become a developer going to UCT. But I don't think I would be the developer I am today without going to UCT. So that's something.
Okay, so which course did you study at UCT?
I did information systems,
Mm-hmm.
which I originally I was actually doing computer science, and then I changed. There's just some things going on there. But yeah, I did information systems, and I cannot just brag about that degree because of how good it is.
Yeah.
Because it's like you get a mixture. It's a mixture between business and IT. So we're just like the middleman trying to connect businesses into the IT world, which is just
Yeah. So, as a software developer, software is pretty broad. You have front end developers, you have back end developers, you have mobile app developers.
yeah.
Which one? Where do you fall? Are you a front end developer, a full stack, or a mobile?
I'm actually going to talk about. I'm going to make sure that I bring in light of what I'm doing right now, the projects I'm doing right now. So I'm actually doing working with Flutter, and so in Flutter there's like just a thin line between logic and the user interface,
Yeah.
and I feel like that's actually where I belong because I like doing front end and I like doing back end. And in Flutter, there's like a thin line between those two, and you get to work with them like seamlessly. And
Yeah.
I think that's
Okay, so I'm assuming that you work with, obviously you work with a programming language called Dart. Is
yeah,
that is that
that.
is that the only programming language that you use at work? Or
Oh no. I will actually do a lot of work in Node. So even though the projects, even if we do them in Flutter, we still do our backends in Node, which is
okay,
actually a very good framework. And also part of another project using Cordova, so that's also something cool.
yeah,
Some of cool frameworks that we've been using, and some of the stuff also in C Sharp.
okay. So just briefly explain to us how does one become a developer in South Africa?
To be honest, I'm not sure how I can answer that question. But if you feel like you have the love for being a developer, man, you just need to go online. Like
Yeah,
that. I mean, that's the only thing I can tell you. Just go online and look for resources to become a developer because there's a load of resources to help you get started.
yeah, yeah. Hey man, I can see your lighter. Have you been
My
smoking?
lighter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's chill, dude. That's chill, man.
Yeah,
That's chill.
yeah. Hey man, to all my viewers, don't get the wrong idea. Like, not all developers are stoners. This guy is just an exception.
Yeah, I am that exception, man. Because to be honest, I am an exception. Oh man. Okay.
Oh man, you're
Let,
so
let's not.
high. You,
Yeah, let's not get much into that though. Let's not get much into that.
yeah. Hey, so what do you do on weekends? Do you code on weekends, or it's only just from Monday to Friday when you're at work?
I mean, so far I've been actually just focusing on work, and on the weekend I just like to get my ball on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just gets because I get into a lot of tasks like during the week, and I just want to get them done and then get off that mode and then just
Yeah.
start balling and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. So, if you were a hiring manager looking for a developer, how would you identify a good developer?
Yeah. That's actually a very good question. And to be honest, I'm not sure how I would go about going, like seeing if someone's a good developer.
Mm.
But I think, to be honest, if seeing just the stuff that the person has done or whatever.
So, things like portfolios and GitHub.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then just doing something together and see if what kind of programmer the person is. Sometimes you get someone who just follow the rules, or
Yeah.
sometimes you get someone who does a trial and error, and there's probably other techniques to coding, but I think once you see the approach that a person takes, you can actually see, this is actually a
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you look at how the person thinks. Are they able to solve problems?
Exactly, because that's the important stuff.
Yeah.
Problem
Yeah.
solving. Yeah.
Yeah. So, last question. Top three programming languages and why?
Top three programming languages. Yo, man, I'm going to go with JavaScript as my number one because
Why?
JavaScript, man, yo. I cannot stress how much I can do with JavaScript
Mm,
that I would actually go miles into like studying if I wanted to do with other programming languages.
okay.
Like I'm a huge fan of creating apps, and I like creating apps. So
Yeah.
I mean, with JavaScript, being proficient in it, I don't even need to know languages like Kotlin or Java to
Yeah.
develop native apps. I
Mm,
can just find some good frameworks, get a single code base, and just code
awesome.
away.
Yeah. So back end, front end, mobile app, JavaScript all the way.
JavaScript, man, JavaScript. And then
Oh,
probably second place, I would say C Sharp, man. C Sharp is just pretty much enjoyed doing MVC with C Sharp.
yeah.
Oh, you know, I remember when I was doing there was this one project that actually got me into C Sharp that much,
Yeah.
and I felt like I was actually talking to the program because it was just like seamless debugging and stuff, which was pretty awesome.
Yeah, your object oriented programming shit going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Right. Yeah. And third place, I don't know, man. I think I'm just gonna put Python because I also know Python, but I'm not a really big fan of it.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay. So I know I noticed that you didn't mention Dart, and yet you use Darts every day at work.
If I'm being honest, man, I think it's actually harder for me to just differentiate between languages because right now, or what's in my mind is the language object oriented.
Okay.
And if that's the case, then I just need to learn a little bit of syntax and then just get going with it.
Yeah. Okay.
So I mean, if I talk about C sharp, I mean I can do in Dart what I can do in C sharp. I can do in Dart what I can do in JavaScript. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay, Zetsembi, so thank you very much for having this interview with me, and I hope people will learn a lot from this. And if someone wants to be a software developer, they know that they should build a portfolio, create a GitHub account, and just be active. So,
away, man. Just keep working. Just keep
yeah,
working.
yeah. All right, boy. Ngiyabonga mfethu.
Away.
Sharp.